Alright, fuckers, welcome back to practicing portraits, artwod portrait roadmap. Right, ta-da, who am I? I'm Viggy. What can I draw like? I can draw like this, currently for my latest live stream, part 54, check it out. But yeah, from imagination, I can draw like this. And no, I don't practice this. This is like 5% of my practice. The fundamentals are essentially 105% of my practice. Genius mouth. But yeah, get your pen, get your paper, draw along. I don't need to fucking explain myself. Artwod is the best foundational drawing platform in the fucking world, right? They'll teach you the basics, right? What is their quote nowadays? Their slogan is, "We give you the work, not the shortcut." And what I do is 100 times the work they give you, because the work they give you is the best fucking work you can get when it comes to learning how to draw. If you don't believe me, wait 15 years and be like, damn, I really should have believed him, because I'll be a fucking goat by then. Watch me become great. Anyways, get your pen, get your paper, draw along. You know the deal, right? Or stay out of morbid curiosity, or leave and watch every video. Keep me on the background, give me retention. Anyways, what am I doing? I've already started drawing. Again, this is all foundational work, right? I'm looking at a portrait reference that I have on my iPad to the left. I'm putting a box over that portrait reference. I'm putting a sphere inside that box, and I'm putting a center line curving along the vertical and horizontal axis inside the sphere, inside the box, right? What does that look like? It looks like this fuckery right here, but blown out to this scale, right? So yeah, draw along, draw along. Let's get this shit going. All right. I don't know what else. What other motivational shit do people say? But it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult to encompass a box. And also, like, the thing is, like, every time I look at the portrait reference and then I look away, I'm essentially rebuilding what I see on the reference, in holding it in my mind and trying to encapsulate it again on the page. And again, the biggest thing, another really big thing I need to work on right now is my line quality, right? So very difficult, very, very difficult. And that's a good thing, right? I'm saying this as a good thing. Like, if it wasn't difficult, it wouldn't be worth doing. You can see my lines, they skip, they're just not that good. And I'm just trying my hardest while drawing these lines to hold the box in my mind, right? To hold the box in my mind. And that's also extremely difficult, right? It's all just fucking difficult as shit, which is why spatial reasoning is one of the best skills you can learn, because it's extremely hard. Nobody else is going to do it, right? If you think about it from a competitive landscape, and I'm just, I guess, addressing you, right? If you are competitive or relatively competitive, right? Just know that by simply focusing on this obviously it's an all-encompassing skill, like has many sub-skills inside of it. But by focusing on this one skill of spatial reasoning, you're essentially fucking ahead of like 90%, 99% of the competition, because nobody will do the difficult thing. They won't. They just won't, right? There are gonna be people watching this who are gonna roll their eyes, right? Or they'll feel called out because, like, I don't do this. Like, I actually don't do this. And then they'll cope and be like, it's not that important. He's not that good at art. Anyways, what does it matter? Yes, I'm not that good at art. In fact, I'm relatively mediocre by all standards right now, right? Right now I am. And right now, whoever's listening, if you are relatively mediocre, it's right now. It's right now. That's my motivational voice. Yeah, but it is right now. And that's another beautiful thing about it. And again, what am I doing? I'm really trying to visualize the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines inside the sphere, inside the box. Right. And the reason I haven't committed to this line is because I need to get the proportional accuracy of this box correctly. I've already made like a couple. I actually haven't made many mistakes yet. This looks okay. This front plane's already a bit too much, right? In terms of like, this is way more accurate in terms of the front plane, to the degree that it is tilted away from us, our eye, right? And this angle, I think, is more accurate. It's hard, like, because I love these subtle angles because they're so difficult, right? Like, I genuinely love these subtle angles because they're more difficult. And again, like, while I'm doing this, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ghost a perfect ellipse. But you see, like, it's not that perfect right now because it's probably ending right around there. And that's just something I have to commit to, while also keeping my lines focused, while also trying to visualize. See, that's basically three different things that are happening right now to the best of my abilities. I'm trying to keep the proportion accurate. I'm trying to visualize the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, and I'm trying to focus on my lines at the same time, right? So, and each of those things has, let's say, about 5 to 6 sub skills, right? Additional tiny skills involved in them, right? For example, with the pen pressure, with like keeping the lines clean, it's pen pressure control, it's pen pressure sensitivity, it's consistency of line, it's consistency of thickness of line, right? And look, I fucked it up because I'm converging this drastically because while I was doing that, I completely lost sight of the box, right? So having to keep perspective in mind is another very important skill, which I did not do correctly. And that's a good thing because now I have a deficit to acknowledge and to make up for, right? And same thing, like this type of large yet essentially subtle perspective is one that I struggle with, which is why we must do it. Because if I don't struggle with it, I'm not going to grow, right? And you see these lines are very subpar, very incredibly subpar. You can see how shaky they are, right? So it doesn't matter how good you think you are. Not that I think I'm good, but the point is, it doesn't matter how good or how proficient you believe you've gotten. As long as you retain the ability to analyze and acknowledge and constantly look at what can be improved, right? Like my eye is always trying, specific to the things that I'm practicing, right? Like right now, I'm trying to be aware of all the different parts of that line that are going wrong while also trying to keep that sphere. And this is actually not bad. I think this is relatively a perfect circle, right? Not perfect whatsoever, right? And the thing is, like, we strive for perfection such that even the lowest of our ability is still extremely high. Does that make sense? Like you strive to be perfect not because you want to be a fucking printer, but because you want to be able to see perfection and try to achieve it as much as possible. Like right now, this and this are slightly diverging. This and this are slightly converging, right? This is diverging up this way. This is converging up this way, right? What else can I see? This and this slightly diverging, right? By like fucking half a millimeter. This line and this line. Well, this line's just super shaky. This line and this line, they're okay. This one's, I think, slightly diverging. I think this is also this one's also slightly diverging. But again, because my line quality is subpar, probably don't see it that well, right? And on top of that, I don't really see that much of a perfect sphere in here, even though there probably is one, because my intuition and just my constant calculation that I'm doing with my fingers right now, right, tells me that there actually is a decently perfect circle in here, right? And then again, I'm trying to see the sphere, the center line, and the vertical and horizontal center line, and that's dictated by this plane and this plane, right? And the minor the ellipse that encompasses it. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain because, you know, I'm in the process of like, what's it called? So the gap effect, and I'm also trying to like rest my brain every time I exert energy, come back. But anyways, I encourage you to rest your brain as well. I'm fucking tired of explaining this shit, bro. Just draw along, goddammit. Draw along, listen to me, hang on to every word, and like, subscribe. And I want to be very clear, while what I'm doing may look simple, give it a shot. Attempt to visualize 3 layers of perspective. By the way, this is very difficult. I'm just gonna like set that precedent. Try visualizing a box of this size, a perfect sphere inside that box, and center lines that wrap around vertically and horizontally, right, inside the sphere, inside the box, right? Try doing that. And then while you're doing it, try explaining what you're doing, right? While holding that visualization to the best of your ability, right? And then hopefully that gives context into the difficulty of what I'm doing and why I call it foundational work. Because this is the fundamental work that none of you will do, right? I can almost, but again, I'm talking to that 1%, right? And it's your choice if you want to be that 1%, right? This is an arbitrary number. It could be the 10%, the fucking 8%, what does it matter? But the point is, I'm talking to that minority who, apart from being segregated at every opportunity, also wants to be a good artist. It's so noble. But see, like my head tilted when I tried looking at that angle there, because again, that's a skill issue that I need to tilt my fucking head to be able to see a goddamn perspective line, right? So again, you see this line is very subpar, and that's good. That's genuinely a good thing because I feel good about it, and mistakes are how I learn. Like again, this angle I struggle with quite a bit. I struggle with this angle. This box is already incorrect. I struggle with these very subtle boxes a lot. That's already a lot better. This one definitely incorrect. I feel as if, yeah, I didn't make the side plane narrow enough. So I got the angle right, but I didn't get the ratio between the front and side plane correct. You see, that's much more accurate. So it's about recognizing these things as well, right? But again, while I'm explaining all this, I keep losing the visualization. I have to take a step back and be like, okay, now rebuild it. And this is just constant mental effort, constant mental effort that every time I put down a line, I also have to calculate exactly what's going on, right? It's all constant mental effort. So to that 1% or 8% or whatever the fuck, right? Understand the merit of foundational work, right? Because like people are already asking me for advice, and it's one of those things where I don't really believe I'm in a place to give advice because I still feel like a beginner. I may not be a beginner, but I still feel like a beginner, right? And I think that just comes down to the student mindset, right? And again, while I'm talking, I'm drawing, which means I'm thinking a shit ton, which is a difficult skill. Because again, holding one line of thought, which is the conversation and me explaining the other line of thought, which is the extreme spatial reasoning, visualization, and constant calculation, right? So drawing is thinking. Again, drawing is thinking. I'll say it as fucking many times as I need to, and I'll, again, keep saying as many times as I need to that this is extremely difficult. My mind is very taxed right now, because now I'm drawing features on top of this, but I have to train myself to zoom out and to still see these calculations, to still see that sphere, right? Like it's very difficult, and that's why it's worthwhile. Like I want to be very clear, like that's why it's worthwhile, because if it's difficult, good. That means nobody else will do it, right? And that means that you are giving yourself that opportunity to be like, hey, I'll do it. The fuck, I'll do it. Just because nobody else will do it doesn't mean I won't do it, right? But again, like while I'm drawing these features, I have to constantly keep zooming out, keep restructuring that sphere, the center line, the box. Well, the box is already there, but especially the sphere and the center lines, right? The box is almost cheating in this aspect, but it's still a great opportunity to reinforce the perspective while I draw these little features, which again are very difficult to draw on top of, because anybody can draw features on a box in the sense that like you can draw them two-dimensionally. Drawing two-dimensional is an easy skill because everybody can do it because it's the baseline, right? Everybody can draw two-dimensionally. It is nothing special. I actually fucked up here. I made her eyebrows way too high up. As you can see, that's much more accurate. So that's another fuck up, right? Because the eye line, from my understanding, is the center line, but yeah, like anybody can draw two-dimensionally because nobody's born with the ability to think to this degree of spatial reasoning. And if they are, good for them. Okay? They now have a duty, to be honest, to see the skill to the end. Right? But in all reality, likelihood is nobody's born with the ability to spatially reason like this. Right? And I'm just saying that just so people are aware where I stand on the whole talent bullshit, which is, as I just said, bullshit, right? Because this channel will essentially be a multi-decade long archive and evidence that it's all bullshit, right? Right now, it's in the quote-unquote growing pains, right? We're in the growing pains. I'm doing foundational work that vast majority of the people even subscribed don't actually understand, and it's possible that it makes them confused because they're like, what the fuck is going on? He's just talking while maybe drawing fucking 3 boxes, right? That's what I've basically been doing. Talking while doing 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, right? And before it was like when I was exerting my mind even less, it was like 1, 2, and then another reps. Like my reps are actually getting slower and slower, funny enough, right? But people will not understand the merit until they do. So I just got to Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Simple as that. I actually don't remember the rest of the lines, but I do remember this line. Hoo-yah! Get it? Because I drew a line. I'm so funny. God, I don't know how to draw lips either, but we'll just do something like this. Again, like this is not the part of the work that I'm doing, which is getting like features right or anything, right? Although those eyebrows being super high up is actually fucking hilarious. I actually think if I look at this, yeah, my center line was off. I had a feeling my center line was off, but I thought I calculated it correctly, but this is where my center line should be. That actually makes things slightly better because then my eye would have been here. Yeah, and that spacing. You see how like, especially at this scale, literally what, like 3 millimeters makes such a huge difference, right? But either way, the point is, this level of foundational work people will not understand. And I'm very happy about that because that just means I continue to get better. People continue to be confused. and then compound effect. Before they know, it's like, how the fuck is he like part 100 in blank on portrait? Like, how the fuck is he drawing all these faces from imagination? And that is the opportunity for those who give a shit to come back to this video at this point and be like, oh, oh, very slow, very gradual progress. Okay, I see fundamentals. Yes, yes. And then of the people that come back here, only about 5-10% of them will actually be like, okay, I'm literally just gonna do this. I'm gonna sign up for artwod. I'm gonna pay my money. I'm gonna shill Viggy. I'm gonna make sure that everybody watches this content and gives them retention, right? It's pretty cringe, actually. I thought my Western accent last video, like the end of last video in the middle of it, was good. And then I listened to it because I'm like, haha, that's so funny. I'm a fucking hilarious guy. And I'm like, dude, this is cringe. But that's not gonna stop me. I'll continue being cringe. But just knowing that I'm cringe is it's a good way to feel humility, humble, right? But either way, okay, so I've done this box. It's okay. The next form wrapping will be here. I'm gonna rest my brain again. I have not pushed my brain to the extent that it needs to be yet, so that's where this is that opportunity to do so, right? Here, I can even add maybe the eyelid. I don't know if that made much of a difference. Probably not. Anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. So, obviously what I need to do during these next 45 minutes, okay, yeah, 45 minutes, is to literally be in as much peak discomfort as possible. So that starts now, right? Because now that I have essentially proven to myself that over there I wasn't thinking that much, I need to think even harder. And trust me, my mind right now does not want to think whatsoever. Like because obviously, why would your mind want to think? I can say drawing is thinking all you want, but like the amount of effort I put towards thinking here, I could have put 10 times more. And that's even more difficult because that means I have to put 10 times more while retaining my flow of the conversation. But if I've done it before, I can do it again. And even if I haven't done it before, this is now an opportunity to prove that I can attempt to do it again. Right? And that's what I'm doing right now, is attempting to do it again. And I'm constantly correcting in my mind. What am I correcting? Well, again, this bottom angle I'm making very drastic. And then I'm having the sphere even jut out from that. So like it's inaccurate, right? Like it's not tapered along the edge or along the confines of the block. The block? What the fuck? Solfeggio? Invention number 1? That's just what I'm learning right now for piano. But it's, yeah, like, so that's a constant correction I'm making in my mind as to like what is the error that is occurring, right? Like, and it's very difficult. Like this level of subtlety, my brain has trouble acclimating to, but this is the opportunity where I can try to acclimate towards it, right? And like to hold that in my mind, right? Like to hold the fuck out of this box and the sphere inside the box and the center lines, right? Inside the sphere, inside the box. So I'm trying my best to hold it right now, and the goal is to hold it for as long as possible, right? That's literally what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to literally see this and hold it for as long as I possibly can, right? We're essentially creating invisible lines to draw something off of. Like that's literally what I'm doing. Like I'm fucking grinding my brain right now, literally trying to hold invisible lines to grind my brain off of. Okay, so I lost it now. Take a step. Okay, try reconstructing it again, right? That's basically the whole visualize, hold the visualization until it flickers and it fades, then you pause, you take a step back, and then you try to reconstruct it. Because there's two parts of visual learning or spatial visualization, which is the attempt to create and hold the visualization, and then once it's gone, again, the attempt to reconstruct, because the reconstructing is actually what our brain is most efficient at, to reconstruct the things that we are trying to do, right? Whether it be the motor movement, whether it be the visualization, whether it be the shapes that we're learning, it's the reconstructing. The reconstructing, why did I share it like that? The reconstructing, right? So that is incredibly important, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. And it's difficult because like because I can zoom in because the bottom plane is what I struggle with there. So when I keep zooming in on that, like it can be easy to, and I need to bring it down here actually, the bottom plane. Yeah, so like it can be easy to completely lose it, but again, I need to create a nice proper sphere. And now this is actually the second the second layer on top of these 3 layers, right? The second hardest, or the second step, the even harder part is now I have to think about shapes to put on top of it, right? So first I have to hold this visualization, and then I have to think about shapes to put on top of it, right? And that is also extremely fucking difficult. And right now, yeah, like I've been doing a lot of these horizontal and vertical, and again, because I lost it, right? Because I looked over here, so I have to take a step back. There you go. Ooh, and then now I have to try reconstructing again. But like to add the shapes on top of it, I need to think. I also want to think about unique ways that I can, yeah, that I can kind of follow along the contour, right? And this is all calculations, by the way. This is literally all just an excess amount of constantly calculating, and definitely best to go slow, right? Because I have a tendency to ghost faster than I need to, like I did just there, right? And that's a mistake. And again, I need this box to, or this sphere to be encompassed inside the perfect box. And this is all mental work. Like I want to tell you right now, my mind is straining a lot to see this, right? It's literally a fucking blank page, but I'm forcefully trying to impose a visualization onto the page, right? That is extremely difficult. That is, I can't even, this is like, if you listen to anything Kim Jong-il says, right, when it comes to like his drawing experience, vast majority of his early years that he refers to, he was like, it was extremely frustrating. It was extremely difficult. I gave up so many times. I could not do it. Like he kept using words like it was extremely hard, extremely difficult, right? I didn't know what I was doing. And that's basically what I'm informing you of, but we're gonna reframe a couple things. Frustration is gonna turn into effort, and dopamine, i.e. enjoying the effort, right? That's the only reframe, because that's actually gonna help us learn better. And again, it does you no service whatsoever to be frustrated, right? Discomfort, yes, because discomfort is how people perceive, is what they end up perceiving as frustration. But discomfort, like the extreme, oh my god, the extreme cognitive friction I'm experiencing right now is god tier. And I'll keep explaining it. Again, talking while explaining this is a skill, right? But I'll keep explaining it till the ends of fucking time, because people need to know. Like, I'm, again, demystifying the process to greatness, all that shit, right? I'm gonna demystify and tell you, hey, that, you know, that extreme brain grindy discomfort that you're feeling? Yeah, that's normal. And it's never gonna go away, because that's actually what learning in art is, right? And here, what we do is we learn to enjoy that feeling. We learn to chase that feeling, right? We learn to have the only expectation to be to have that feeling, right? And then just keep trying. Just keep trying. Like, because it's like, kind of think about it this way. What is your other option apart from trying? It's giving up. Because giving up is failing. Failing is not failing. Because I failed right there. I could barely hold it. I couldn't say anything. I'm going to rest my brain now. But that is a good thing. Because now my brain's going to learn from the failure, man. All right. So yeah, there's a reason I don't edit any of this out, apart from absolute sheer laziness. The other reason, which is equally compelling, is the fact that this is not a highlight reel channel. This is an every fucking second of his practice channel, right? This is what practice looks like channel. This is a you should like, subscribe, watch every video channel. this is what else? What other fucking ways can I say the same shit over and over? Right? This is a delayed gratification channel. I've already used that before. Right, this is, hold up, shut the fuck up channel, that's what it is, because I need to actually think about a shape I want to draw now. Oh, I'll do something like this. Finally, we have a goddamn idea. You see, all that to like hold the perspective, but I still didn't even have an idea, right? And now, again, I have to think about the box, the sphere inside the box, the center line inside the sphere inside the box, vertical and horizontal, and I need to hold that while I calculate the side plane, right? Calculate the side plane, calculate where... Let's see, we'll do something like this, actually. This will change a bit of the original placement that I have for this, but... And you might be wondering, why do you keep using diagonals? Because they're a great way for me to reinforce what I'm already knowing. Like, to reinforce the perspective while still push the boundaries of what I'm drawing. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Right? So... Let's see... Right, and then, I'm trying to think. So we got the diagonal. We definitely got the diagonal. This is a diagonal of all time. Right, and I'm trying to think. Because if this is the sphere, this is the end of the sphere. Oh, no, that's a bit too low. That's the end of the sphere. Again, my brain is fucking dying, bro. Because again, every time I see this box and the sphere inside the box, I'm not just seeing the box. I have to also calculate the planes. You have to remember that. I'm also calculating the planar relationships and also the center line, right? Like this is also what I'm constantly trying to calculate, right? Like this. This is also what I'm constantly trying to calculate. So like I need to keep holding that in my mind while I try to visualize that, right? So each plane that I see is its own relation, like to the center line, right? To the center line that it has. It's like this shit. That's what I'm trying to see. Yeah, that shit. Yeah. Okay, you can see my center line's actually probably a bit off there. But that's literally what I'm trying to see. And the same thing on the bottom, but the bottom's obviously way more difficult, right? So bear with me because this is all extremely difficult. But that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say is like, yes, it is extremely difficult, right? Yes, you will struggle greatly, right? And yes, that's a good thing. There's no point in wishing for no struggle. I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? Because I'm so deep, right? Oh, guys, sure, Biggie gives sage-like advice, right? There's literally 0 point in wishing that you don't struggle, because what you're wishing is to be mediocre. That's what you're wishing, right? And again, while I'm explaining and going on these random tangents, I'm still fucking thinking, and it's so hard, but I'm trying to prove that anybody can fucking build the skill of drawing while talking, right? But of course, it takes an insane amount of time, which is our ally, actually, in this case, because it just takes time and effort. Like, think about it. It, quote-unquote, just takes time and effort, right? So what is left when you take time and effort out of the equation? Enjoying the time and effort that exists. And right now, like, again, it's easy for me to be like, when I'm not drawing, to be like, yes, I will use blank shapes. Oh, they will be great, right? I will simply wrap it around and see everything, and that's because I'm a god, right? It's easy to think like that, but the reality is, I am not that, because it's to see everything that I'm trying to see already takes so much fucking effort. Like, genuinely takes so much effort that it's actually like, it's so much ego to think that I would have had the ability to see what I was trying to see, right? And I'm gonna, again, rest my brain now because I completely lost the perspective. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna try again. And this is what learning is like, right? This is what effort is like. And this is what, hopefully, I'm consistently showcasing and reminding to some degree that this is what discomfort is like, right? And that this is normal. Like, if you're not experiencing this, you're not learning. Like, I'm very seriously, you're not learning if you're not in discomfort, okay? And you have the ability to constantly chase that. See, it's already been what? 28 minutes. 28 minutes and this is what has been drawn. Think about that, right? What does that tell you? That I'm shit, right? It's just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make a point here that nobody is above just doing work. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is above just doing the fucking work. And it's a good thing that nobody's above doing the work, because would you rather be above doing the work, right? Like, would you rather be a character? Obviously, there's gonna be a decent amount of people who are like, yes, I actually don't want to put in effort, and that's like wonderful. Then they're not part of the equation because they're not going to achieve anything that we achieve or more, right? But if you want to be someone who achieves, then you must put in the work to become someone who achieves. I think my light just flickered. What the fuck, bro? I'm trying to be deep and motivational, god damn it. Electricity, don't do this. Fucking literally like 2 weeks ago, my power went out, and it was a good thing I decided not to record that day, because then the power would have been out, and that would have been shit. So I guess there's some context that has nothing to do with anything, but anyways, I was trying to be deep about something. What was I saying? Okay, so this is the edge of the front plane, right? No, wait, this is the front plane. Wait, no, what the fuck? See, I completely lost it. So this is the side plane. It's the front plane. I need to bring this over here. So there you go. And let's see. But anyways, like, yeah, it just takes work. What a fucking surprise. It just takes more work. But I'm trying to think about the box because I can't see this at all. So right now what needs to be done is to figure out the front plane. That's the main thing, right? Like the main thing that needs to be done right now is to figure out where the sphere is. So clearly the sphere is like right here. So I didn't account for that originally. This was supposed to be jutting out, but it seems that this was supposed to be jutting out, but then I ended up having this be the sphere that like the like already be attached at this point. So then it's clear to me that this ended up becoming a diagonal of sorts. Did it? See, actually, I'm very confused about the spatial relationships I've created, and that's due to the fact that there's been an error in my calculations, right? So this is why I like thinking, and this is why I like constantly pushing myself, right? But for the sake of, I guess, just trying to draw something, right? There you go. Why don't we have this attached like that? Yeah, for the sake of trying to draw something, let me at least try to, and again, like while I'm drawing these tiny features, it's so easy to lose the overall perspective. So I need to constantly keep reminding myself of the overall perspective. And what I remind myself of is extremely fucking difficult because I keep losing it. So I need to take a step back. Okay, try reconstructing it again now, right? And each time I reconstruct it, perhaps it's decent, perhaps not. It doesn't fucking matter because I'm still gonna have to try, right? And that's all that matters, is that I'm still trying. So let's see. Okay, do I want this to come down? Again, because don't forget, I still have to fucking design something. There's still a design to be made, right? There's still a design to be made, and that is already extremely difficult as well, right? And you have to understand, or you probably do understand, I don't fucking know. But yeah, if you don't understand, you have to understand that I'm trying to visualize a box, a sphere inside that box, a central line inside that sphere inside that box, right? While also ensuring that the shapes I design look to be relatively functional. Not functional to the utmost degree, but look to be relatively aesthetic and functional, right? Like that is, I don't know why my voice started talking like this, but that is extremely difficult, right? That's genuinely extremely fucking difficult. So, and that's, I'm just trying to make a point here. Is like, it is difficult. It's normal that it's difficult, and it's normal that it will continue to be difficult. The only thing that matters is, see, I lost the perspective again, is that we try to continue to figure it out while it is difficult, because it's not going to be easy. First of all, that's another thing. Like, you just get rid of all preconceived notions that it's going to be easy, right? That's the first step, is like, just accept that it's not going to be easy. And then the next step after that is like, if it's not going to be easy, while I'm drawing this, right? It's not easy that I'm drawing this, and I'm also trying to visualize the larger box sphere and center line inside the box while also focusing on my lines. I've accepted that, right? Like, that's just a fact. It was not easy to do that, yet I did try to do it, and I failed miserably, but I did try to do it, right? Because now I take a step back, and I try to reconstruct the box again, right? But if it were easy, then everybody you would know, or you know, would be able to do this right now, right? Everybody you know would be able to pick up a pen and be like, look at me, I'm a spatial reasoning god. But everybody you know is not capable of anything close to this, right? Whether they are artists or not, you know? And that, oh, see, I fucked up this here, and that is normal. I'll just close it off there, and that's completely normal. Now, I'm pretty sure I made a mistake here. Pretty sure there's a mistake here that I'm not seeing that I made. Because if this is coming down here, I guess this, something like, there you go, that's cutting across like so. There's something there that looks off, and My mind is too preoccupied with trying to reconstruct this fucking box sphere centerline bullshit, which is a good thing, right? It's not actually bullshit, let's be very clear. But again, this is obviously I fucked up the centering for this as well. So a lot of mistakes have been made. A lot of mistakes. And I'll be very clear, like many mistakes have been made. Right? And even here, like I still don't know what I did here. But let me just try to figure it out. Because if this is coming out... I mean, if anything, this is definitely something that's jutting outward. Like, I feel as if I definitely fucked up. Like, this created a huge fuck up here. Right? Now, it's just kind of about to try to figure out what did I do that could possibly be undone. Right? Because that's this way. What about this way? Let's see, because this is my sphere, because I have to still keep that sphere in mind. And again, box, sphere, central line inside the box in the sphere. Right? And again, what is it? 35 minutes. 35 minutes and I can barely see anything. I'm really struggling. I'm fucking trying to push and hold this as much as I can. But this is a mistake that was made that I actually probably can still figure out. If I'm going to be completely honest. Right? Yeah, like I probably can still fix this, but it just comes down to how. You know, that's the main question right now. How, like I said earlier. Right? So, let's see. I'm just like, there's a way to connect this that makes it look and or at least function fine, right? I'm just trying to see what that is. Hold up. Alright, anyways, we could do something like, again, like this is when I really have to construct it. And this sphere is actually much smaller than what's supposed to be in here. So that's already a huge mistake as well, but there you go. So this is my sphere, right? There you go. Kind of fix that a little bit, right? This is not bad. Okay, so that happened, and then if that is coming out this way, then we'll have this down here come out. Because which way is this going? This going like this. It's coming out, and then it's coming back. Yeah, okay, so that out coming back. So this. And then, wait, what is it? What the fuck? Oh, it's out this way, right? And then coming back. Okay, so we actually don't even see the other side of this plane much at all. But maybe I can make it pull up. Right, maybe we can have something. And again, this is all following the box that has been established by the sphere, which I'm constantly building in my mind, like constantly trying to build it in my mind. It's nothing incredible. Trust me when I say, like, it's without a doubt constantly failing. Like, it's hilarious how much it's failing. Like, while I'm drawing this, it's completely failed, right? But then when I take a step back, then it's like, okay, like I'm rebuilding it now. But like while I'm trying to hold it while drawing this, it's basically non-existent, right? So lots of strife, lots of cognitive discomfort, right? And it's a good thing. I want to, again, be very clear. This is a good thing, right? So, and then roughly like right there. And, oh wait, see, I already fucked that up. It's right there, and then again, trying to hold that box, the sphere inside the box. See also the tiny fucking cylinder plane here. And, oh, see, like this is probably jutting. Yeah, this is jutting out way too much. And I misaligned too. Genius, a genius. Yeah, misaligned, and it's jutting out way too much, right? Because look, it shouldn't be. Bring it here, coming up right here. And then it should have been like, it should have stopped right around here actually. So yeah. Now, there's no way to fix that, right? That's just a bona fide mistake. So the next question is, what's going on here? Like, what am I doing here? right? I think I'm just gonna finish this sphere. Oh, see, I fucked up the sphere again. I thought I had it in my mind, but I clearly did not get the edges correctly, you know? But we can still fix this to a degree, because this is where my sphere ends. It's not perfect. It's really not perfect at all. This looks like fucking, like Zoidberg's head, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. Right, it looks like fucking Zoidberg, but either way. I'm just trying to think of like some sort of interesting design. But that doesn't mean, and again, like my lines are really, really subpar, right? But that doesn't mean that I'll be able to think of something interesting, you know? So maybe I'll add like a cutout there, and most definitely ooh, see, my lines are so bad. And again, my head like is really trying to tilt over like this while I'm drawing this, because it's a very hard perspective to keep in mind. But the point of the matter is I'm still trying to think about that sphere and the center lines and everything while I'm drawing this. So like I've completely fucked up the sphere here. I hope you'll notice, or have noticed, that the sphere has been completely fucked. Like it's genuinely been completely fucked up, right? And that means I failed, quote unquote, right? That means I have completely butchered the assignment, right? That means like, oh look, you're not good enough, blah blah blah. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that I really tried my fucking ass off to visualize. I genuinely did, and I'm losing it now too. Like I'm losing it so hard right now, right? And like this didn't help. What I did here, like that curve that I did here was not good. Like this is not following, and it could have been a lot better. And I didn't see anything, and I just failed miserably. And that's okay. That's expected. You know? I mean, we could also say like, oh look, he's coping because he's shit. Yeah, sure, I am coping because I'm shit. Right? And I'm trying so hard not to lose my perspective, even though I'm coping because I'm shit. Right? Like 100% I'm coping because I'm bad at drawing. Right? But I'm trying really hard to not be someone who's bad at drawing. Right? And that's the great differentiator that I'm trying to hold myself to. Is just trying to be someone who's not that bad. You know what I mean? And that comes with a shit ton of trial and error. Like a fuck ton. That most people are unwilling to do. You know? Because the trial and error I speak of isn't just trial and error. It's absolute volume. Right? And many of you are not willing to do this much volume only to feel like you don't know how to draw. Right? Like I assume many of you are not willing to put in that much work. Look at that. Look at that. Look at like... Bro, I couldn't hold or see anything. I literally couldn't, right? I genuinely couldn't. And a big part of that is because, you know, I started with this very difficult angle and I didn't know where I was going from and I couldn't visualize anything. I tried so hard. Like I genuinely tried so hard. And I didn't even get that far. And in the end, it still didn't goddamn matter. But anyways, no, like that's just how it is. That's literally just how it is. And it should encourage you, hopefully, that everyone goes through this, right? Or maybe you don't really give a shit, right? And you're like, yeah, whatever, he's just ass, move on. That's fine too. You know, I'm gonna keep trying. It's not gonna stop me from trying. This is actually a pretty decent design. Actually, like, the sphere being incorrect, the completely incorrect aside, and obviously I couldn't even get the size right? I think it's a pretty okay design. My lines obviously need a fuck ton of work, right? But see, that kind of looks like a horse. I don't know what this looks like. There you go, little cylinders attached there. Oh, god damn it, dude, every fucking time I drop this goddamn cap, and it gets further away from me too. But I'm gonna rest my brain. Right? I encourage you to do so as well. Let this be a lesson that no matter how hard I think I'm thinking, or I am thinking, completely lost it. And this happens like every fucking 5th attempt, right? But I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I'm gonna try again really hard to do something like that. right? Like I had it and then I didn't at all. And that's normal. Okay? But either way, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. And then we're gonna do one more repetition like this. Another thing that's very important for all of you to note is that progress is not linear, right? It's linear in the long term, in the sense that it looks like this. Like let's say this is the beginning, and let's just say this is the end, right? This is what progress looks like, right? Right on the way, very nice. But if you actually zoom in into what that means, it means you have up and then down. And then up a little bit, that doesn't surpass the down, and then down, that goes even further. And it's like, I'm shit, oh no, what? And then up, that completely surpasses everything. And then down again, right? It's a trend, right? It's like weight loss. You lose 1 pound, then you gain 2 pounds, then you lose 3 pounds, then you gain 5 pounds, then you lose 6 pounds, then you gain 1 pound. Like, but you're trending. If you're trying to lose weight, you're trending downward. If you're trying to gain weight, you're trending upwards. It's the same thing with skill acquisition. And the skills I'm trying to acquisize, right? Because that's a real word. But the skill I'm trying to acquire is a very difficult 3-layer spatial reasoning skill. It would be foolhardy of me to believe that I can just do it because I'm trying every day. No, I can just try to do it every day because I'm trying every day, right? You know what? Because I'm struggling so much with this bottom angle, maybe I can just define it, right? And I'm trying really hard to visualize right now. Like this is again peak discomfort, right? Like extreme discomfort. And you see again how my hands keep going towards this angle when the real angle is more like this. Jesus Christ, when it's more like this. Like you see how subtle that is? Because that is what it is, right? It's extremely subtle. Again, like looking at this makes me laugh because it's such a huge fuck up. And again, like I was on such a really good trend with these as well. And I put the same amount of effort here that I did here. But, you know, what's it called? Like if we're trying to lose weight, like up 7 pounds, right? That's what this was. So I'll recenter the paper. Don't worry, that shit pisses me off when I look at my videos. So rest assured. But anyways, right? Trying to form wrap simple shapes. But the main thing is, again, the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines, right? So we need to see. Like that's the main thing. Like the main skill I'm trying to build is seeing, right? And seeing is very difficult. Like genuinely, oh shit, what the fuck? See, I already fucked that up. But seeing is very difficult. Like genuinely, it's one of the most difficult things is to see, right? And again, like this is my sphere, this is my box, right? This is my front plane, my side plane. I think I made my front plane a little too big, side plane a little too small. And either way, we're gonna have to see what I did here and if it actually makes sense, you know? Because this is my sphere. This is definitely my, I don't know why my voice sounds like this sometimes, sometimes it sounds so deep, you know? But this is my sphere, and ooh, see, like this is, again, dude, like trying to hold this visualization is so fucking difficult because I have to just keep seeing that perfect sphere, that perfect sphere, that perfect sphere, right? And that in and of itself is an extremely difficult, say it with me now, we can all say the word, I know it won't make you vomit, skill, right? Skill. Oh, shit makes me nut. Skill. Oh my god, not again, please. I'm in the middle of a recording. Skill. Oh, stop it, you stop it. Anyways. But skill. Right? And again, like while I'm drawing these tiny lines, I still have to keep that skill. Okay, I've got to stop. I still have to keep the box, the sphere inside the box, the center line inside the sphere, inside the box, visualized. Right? Like I still have to keep it all visualized and understood and centered and everything, like all that shit, right? All that shit. We still have to do all of that. Again, like while I'm holding this, like while I'm doing all this, I still have to really zoom out. That is extremely difficult skill, right? That is genuinely so fucking hard. And I think this diagonal that I did was incorrect. Yeah, it's definitely incorrect, but we have to roll with it. And that's a mistake I made there, but we're just pretending like it wasn't a mistake, right? And again, like, this shape ideation is pretty fucking mediocre, I'm not gonna lie. Like, whatever I'm doing here kind of looks like shit, right? But it's still a good way to practice my lines at the very least. And whatever, it's done now, but this is the main thing, is like, just constantly keep trying, you know? Constantly keep trying. And that's another, it's like, how do I keep trying is the real question, right? It's like, how do you just keep going? I don't know. I'm really trying to hold this in, but okay. See, that was a lot of effort. I completely lost the sphere. So take a step back. And again, this is like what I'm capable of when I thought I was on a good, again, like I thought I was on a really good streak. Like, this was looking good, this was looking good, this all took the same amount of time and effort. But then I did this. And now this one also feels like it's really losing the plot, but there's only one way to affirm whether I'm quote unquote losing the plot or not, and that's just to keep trying, right? Let's see, and then, right, so that's kind of like this. But what is the perspective? It's something like, well, I did fuck it up quite drastically, but if we do something like this, and then what else? What else can we do? I don't know. Maybe this will have to be very simple. Right, and then this is just curved. It's following this perspective. Who knows? Let's see, and then maybe I can do something like this, where it's a cylinder attached to the box. I'm trying to think of what this could be as well over here, like what I'm trying to do here. Can this be jutting out? Well, that means it has to... And then this, like, cut out there, it has to be curved along the contour here, and then it has to be curved along the contour there. Right? And then we still have to do the same thing here. And again, while I'm drawing all this, I'm trying really hard to think about the overall sphere. Like, I'm really trying to think about the overall sphere in the box. But I'm telling you right now, it's basically non-existent. Like, it's... Main thing is really trying to think about the perfect sphere, which is already very difficult to think about. But again, I tell myself this is a good thing. I feel Gucci, as they say. Right? Because it's all about the effort. I'm making a very conscious effort. See, that was a pretty shit. That was like genuinely fucking garbage shape design. So it's just one of those days for me. It's genuinely just one of those days where it's hard to think about anything worthwhile, right? It's actually very difficult. And then I just simply accept that. I just accept it, you know? And that's all I can do, is just accept it, right? If I bemoan it, then I'm not enjoying the learning process. But if I accept it, then that is the learning process, is to simply accept what I am currently capable of, right? So, yeah, accept it. Whether it makes sense or not, which this really doesn't, I don't think. I think I just don't have the quote-unquote ideation juices today, right? Like, it's just not happening. And that's fine. That's fine that it's not happening. Because I'm just going to keep trying and make something happen, whether it's good or not, either way. While really trying to put in as much effort as possible to hold that box sphere and center line to the box and sphere, which is already very difficult. I can barely see it. I want to be very clear. I've been losing it so much, so I should probably take a step back. Okay, try reconstructing it again, right? Just really try reconstructing it again. Really try seeing that to the best of my ability again, right? Let's see. So, like, I thought I was doing something here, but I don't think I was. Like, I thought I was, but I don't think I was. Right? Is it like wrapping around? I don't know what I was going for here. And my lines are obviously suffering quite drastically. Feels good, man. But there you go. Like, that's my sphere, I guess. But just trying to think. 'Cause this is my sphere. That's my box. That's my box. That's my sphere. I'm trying to think if there's something, I guess, kind of interesting that I can do, right? That isn't just me coming up with random bullshit shapes. The answer is possibly. Clearly, you can see, like, I'm kind of just reusing specific designs. But here I'm trying multiple rounding because I haven't done that in a while. So let's give it a shot. It's not bad, right? Again, it's like, oh, what shape can we do here? Well, why don't we try something that's a little bit different, a little bit diagonal, right? It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It can still just be something that maybe we can have it curve up like that, right? And then it goes this way. And again, while I'm drawing that, I've completely lost the sphere. So I need, like, the big skill, another big skill to keep in mind is like drawing this, but keeping the entire box, sphere, and cylinder, box, sphere, and center lines in mind, right? And that's fucking hard. That's very hard to do, right? Because this is my sphere. And this is my sphere. And like while I'm doing this, you have to remember, this is also all obstructing. It's getting in the way of me visualizing the box, sphere, and center lines inside of it. Like, it's actually in the fucking way, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. It's like, it's actually all in the, it's all in the way. It's not helping at all, right? So, you know, and this is probably pretty off, to be honest. I think maybe that was off too. Who knows? Who knows? I actually don't know what I'm trying to make sense of it all, but not really the most amazing thing in the world. It doesn't have to be. That's not the point, but I'm allowed to have commentary. Leave me alone. See, like, it's whatever. Let's see, and then maybe over here we can have a little semi-cylinder. And again, like, while I'm drawing this, I've completely lost the box and sphere, but it's like, this is what I have to train, right? This is all a trainable skill, is me drawing tiny details, keeping this box in mind, keeping the sphere in mind, and continuing to draw tiny details. And fuck, this is hurting my brain so much. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And I want to, like, be very clear, like, you're capable of enjoying this. You are. Because it's always two options. I want to enjoy doing difficult things, or I don't want to enjoy doing difficult things. And only one of them helps you do difficult things. Right? It's and yeah, somebody will argue, like, actually, I can hate every step of the fucking process and still do it. Good for fucking you. Is that really what you want, though? Like, is that what you want? Because, okay, if that's what you want, then go ahead, bro. Like, what the fuck? You know, you have all right to, all the right in the world, whatever, to dislike doing the thing, but that won't make doing the thing enjoyable. That'll just make doing the thing fucking abhorrent. I think it maybe should have been like this. Interesting. And let's see. How is this supposed to end? I have no idea what I'm trying to do here. Maybe. Let's see if this is my, okay, see, like, I've completely lost the box and the sphere inside the box, so I need to take a step back again. Well, let me actually rest my brain. Maybe there's a way I can savor this, or salvage this, not savor, what the fuck. I am savoring the moment, right? Oh, I love the learning. But anyways, let's rest our brains. The other difficult part, and I'm subject to this, like pretty badly, right? And I think most people are, just in learning, most people are subject to this, is slowing down. As in, I do rush to make decisions, like, and the thing is that can cost me the drawing, right? Like that can literally cost me the drawing. Like right now, I rushed and I made this decision, and that possibly cost me the drawing, right? Same thing here. Like this was not as clear as it could have been, and that, like, same thing here. Like this is actually where there should have been a bit more tapering off. But the point is, like, we rush, and yeah, you know, you can, like, it's just kind of part of it is like people end up rushing, but that doesn't mean that I can't still somehow take a step back and be like, okay, well, let me maybe not rush, right? And maybe this curve, most likely actually, is pretty inaccurate, but that's not going to stop me from doing something that is going to result in possibly a pretty unique design. Possibly, I want to say very clearly, like possibly a very unique design, right? Because this is obviously that. Okay, so we'll start right here. Let's see, okay, so that line is not that good. That line's also not that good. And again, none of these lines are anything incredible. Right, and I'm trying to follow the perspective as much as I can. Let's see, so let's try to make this line halfway decent. And while I'm doing this, I'm really losing the perspective, I'll be honest. Completely fucking losing it, but gotta keep trying, right? Gotta keep trying, gotta keep trying. Let's see. See, that's off perspective. Yeah, that's definitely off perspective, but it's okay because I'm gonna keep trying to make some semblance of a sense of this. And this is like uncharted territory for me. Creating an attachment from the side of the sphere. Definitely, honestly, now that I look at it, this should have been curved a lot more, like a lot more. But that's beautiful because now I can see the mistake. That's a huge part of learning. Is like, okay, shit, so I can see it. That's a good thing, because if I couldn't see it, then it would be even worse, right? But I can see it, so that's pretty damn good. Let's see, something like this, right? And I don't know what this shape is going to be. Actually, like, I have no idea, but I'm trying to, right, make some sort of connection. And we'll see where it takes me. Maybe this can be a curve, right? Let's see. And yeah, my lines definitely need a lot of work, but and then that's like a cylinder or some sort of sphere attached to it, right? And then let's see, this is attached here, comes out like so, and ta-da. Let's have this obviously curve along the cylinder. Something like that. Definitely relatively off perspective, but now I guess I can close this off. Something like this, right? And what I want to do is I want to connect something here, right? So what I wanted to do was to perhaps do something like this. And this is obviously like a big part of like, oh, shape design. Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Not much. This is not much at all. But enough that it looks like I'm doing something interesting. But at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to hold that box sphere, center line inside the box in the sphere, and trying not to bastardize the experience too much. And by the experience, I mean the drawing, obviously. But you have to remember that I'm literally thinking so hard right now while I'm explaining what I'm thinking about. And it is beautiful. Like, it actually feels quite arousing, to say the least. Right, that's my sphere, so that we can just... Oof, there you go. There you go, something like that, right? Like, connect it while trying to hold everything. That's basically what I was trying to do. And you can see, like, I fucked up the sphere quite a bit. Let's see, this is coming. And I need to figure this out. Okay, so, like, this is where my mind is, like, really dying right now. I want to be very clear. My mind's really dying right now. But... obviously, I'm also trying to fix that mistake I made earlier. Right, it's like, oh, okay, now kind of looks like it's attached. But that was a huge fuck up, and we all know it was a huge fuck up because I explained it was a huge fuck up, and you knew what I was trying to do because I explained it. So that's good. Just like I don't want to, again, demystify, right? Like get rid of the big allure of like, what is art really like? It's like, this is what it's like. This is what art's really like. This is what having good draftsmanship skills means. Right? Or attempting, sorry, not that I have good draftsmanship skills. This is what attempting to have good draftsmanship skills means. What the fuck am I saying? Draftsmanship skill mean? What the fuck? Whatever, man. This is what it means like to try, alright? God damn it. What the fuck happened here? Okay, so something like that. So... now the question is like, where does that sphere end, right? Because I did mess this up, but I feel as if I can close it off. Honestly, considering all the many mistakes I made, not that bad. I would obviously have done the other side too, but I think... yeah, see, like, you can see the curve here was the biggest issue, right? Like, this curve, like, I curved it so small over here. Technically, I guess I could keep going and just give it, like, a little bit of foreshortening, right? Be like, oh, look. It continues, but it gets a lot more foreshortened. You know, I could do that, because technically... this is facing away from us to a decent degree. And then cover that like that. That goes up there. And then what is this? See, like that's on this side. See, yeah, like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Right, but well, actually, if it is foreshortened, then it would be coming in a lot more like that, I believe. This could be completely wrong. In fact, I'm sure there's definitely a pretty fucking decent degree of incorrectness to this, but see, like I made that the same thing as, okay, well, like that's definitely wrong. We'll leave it for now. Like, huge mistakes all around. But you know what the main thing is the fact that I may give myself all the crap, but I'm constantly trying to improve, like, hold this as much as possible while trying to, like, add more difficult designs. And it's been showing, obviously. But I don't know. Like, it's always just a work in progress, right? We'll just do something like this for the, actually no, we'll have a thumbnail of me drawing it, but yeah, lines obviously still need, everything needs work. Fucking everything needs work. But I did try. I genuinely kept trying, right? And I don't know what time it is right now. It's 11:46. Maybe I'll have time for another drawing session today. Usually I've just been doing an hour 5 days a week right now, but that's likely I won't. But I do want to draw again, which is a nice feeling. But yeah, like this is a session that I can say, you know, if I were to have a bad mindset about it, like if I were someone who still had a bad mindset, or if I allowed even the tiny inkling of a bad mindset to permeate my subconscious, I would look at this and be like, I'm garbage, I'm shit. I would look at this and be like, fuck man, I didn't learn anything. But that doesn't do anything. That what that does, like, you know, from a fucking biochemical, neurological, fucking diddle your butthole type of view, right? Your first diddle your butthole type of feedback, or self-critique. Good old donkey. Anyways, like if I were to be negative, then that would just make me learn less efficiently. Like my brain, if I ascribe cortisol or frustration, I don't know if it's cortisol exactly, but if I ascribe frustration to learning and errors, my brain literally shuts off the pathways to try to learn that thing. And everyone's brain does. I'm not unique to this. None of us are unique to this, okay? Like, I want to say one last thing. Like, everybody thinks they learn differently. And the thing is, everybody enjoys different types of learning. But the number one rule is sheer intentional repetition. Like, none of us are above that, okay? Nobody is above hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of intentional volume. Nobody. Everyone's brain learns the exact same way when it comes to repeated exposure, intentional repetitions, and sheer effort and volume. Everyone's brain. What we focus on, how we focus, how we ascribe our attention to specific things, like the little nuances of how we learn, blah blah blah. Sure, there's variation, but you saying I like watching videos or I don't learn through what's it called, auditory cues. Yeah, that's a preference. But in terms of you doing just sheer volume, based on however you learned, but applying it. At the end of the fucking day, you're applying it. Like, it's all the same. It's all the fucking same. You know, do not mistake your preferences for learning to the actual biological processes going on in your brain to learn better and efficiently, right? Two completely different things. One of which is your bias, the other of which is complete fucking fact, right? For example, I like fucking watching videos when I learn, or I like to read when I learn. Personally, I like to read. I like to read, and then I like to look at visual examples, right? And it's also based on the medium. You know, to look at a map when you're learning geography is 100% going to teach you better than to read about the fucking lay of the land while learning geography, right? But that doesn't mean that you're a more visual learner. It's the subject that lends way to the more visual medium for learning efficacy, right? But of course, there might be comments, most definitely be like, you're fucking wrong, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But I don't give a fuck, all right? Sheer intentional volume and enjoying the effort, nobody's above that. And I think you can do it too. At the end of the day, I think you could all do it, right? Fucking, I mean, that's the whole point of what I always try to say. But yeah, like, if you think that you are not someone who can learn better through sheer intentional repetition, because people will bastardize my words, it's very likely. But intentional repetition, focused repetition, and focus weans and wanes and waxes and it fucking goes through the entire cycle of the moons and all that shit. But yeah, focus does flicker. So the skill of focusing is to refocus, right? Is to recognize the act of losing focus and then to bring your attention back to the thing you're trying to focus on. That is the skill of focusing, right? So that's normal. You know, I lost my focus multiple times throughout this session, but I kept fucking refocusing, therefore I focused, right? But your focus needs more focus. But anyways, I just want to say that, and nobody's above repetitions. Nobody. I'm not above repetitions. Nobody's above trial and error. Nobody's above volume. You only get perspective on what's working and what isn't through volume, right? And look at this. I have really tried here. Like, this is something completely new that I've never done before. But because my spatial reasoning has gotten slightly better, I was able to attempt it, right? So, good stuff all around. And there's still, like, this entire section of the design, which was shit. But this was so much more clear, and I'm proud of myself for that, genuinely, right? Oh, wait. Forgot to add the volume. The fucking dimensionality. There's a little things. But either way, I'm gonna stop for now. I mean, at the end of the day, I really hope you tried, and I really hope you focused on enjoying the effort and really just putting in as much effort as possible, focusing on your fundamentals, really trying to spatially reason, right? Use me as your conduit to grind your brain if doing it on your own is difficult, right? But do put the volume down, because I don't want my voice to get in the way of your actual practice, right? Draw along, become great with me, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I do want to respect your practice, right? So with that all being so fucking said, right, back to the Western accent. No, not today. Today we do not cringe. Today we empower, right? With that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.